I want to officially welcome you to the Changemaker sessions tonight. Our theme is meditation for changemakers. And so thank you all of those of you that have joined us live. It means a lot to me. And it also means a lot to me that you are watching, those of you who are watching the replay. Welcome, welcome. I'm Kimberly Carroll. I am a coach for changemakers. So I help those who are trying to make a positive difference in the world by taking you through the inner work, teaching you some high performance habits and exploring strategies to truly power you up. And this bunch here is getting so powered up. I love it. It's not all because of me, but I just love working with folks like you that are making really tangible changes in the world. So I really wanted to do this theme today because on meditation, because I feel like meditation is such a powerful tool that not a lot of people understand. And it's especially powerful for folks like you who are trying to make a difference in the world, who are really trying to change the world. So this evening, we're going to work on weaving more meditation into your life in ways that work for you. Okay. And that's for whether you're completely new to this, completely new to meditation, or maybe you're a veteran meditator. Either way, you're going, or anywhere in between, you're going to hopefully get some good little pieces to consider tonight. So let's get the chat warmed up. Where are you joining us from? And let us know where you are in terms of meditation. Maybe you've never tried meditation once in your life. You've tried it before, but didn't like it. You do it once in a while and it kind of works for you. You're wanting to do it more regularly, or maybe you're a devoted meditator. So also, if you want to share what kind of meditation you do, like if there's anything in particular you do, please share that. And I'm just going to mute a few folks. So folks, just so you know, you are naturally unmuted, but if there is something going on in the background that you don't want us to hear, or it's noisy or whatever, just mute yourself and you'll be able to unmute when you need to. And Kirsten, who's our kind, wonderful moderator tonight, will also make sure to mute anybody if there's a sound coming up that is sort of disruptive. Hi, Jackie. Nice to have you here. Hi, Joy. Okay, so let's see. Susan says, I've been meditating for years, mainly silent meditation. Yeah, I love that. One of the most challenging but most rewarding forms of meditation. Valerie says, I meditate as part of my yoga practice. Carmen said, tried but failed. Okay, well, we're going to redefine what failed means today, Carmen, because I'm sure you did not fail. Kirsten says, totally new to meditation. Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to get you onto this, Kirsten. Shannon is joining us from Ottawa. 11 years Buddhist, could improve my regularity. Yeah, Shannon, that's how I was for, I've been meditating for 25 years now, but it wasn't until the last 3 years that it became a non-negotiable as a daily practice for me. And I'll tell you more about that. Patricia says intermittent variety of meditation styles. Tenebrae says currently meditation is best with a group. Amazing. Silent is how I was taught. Excellent. Joy says, I meditate a lot, did 2 10-day silent Vipassana courses a long time ago. Oh, Joy, that is hardcore. That's amazing. Good for you. Carrie says, I like guided meditations and often use Tara Brach's meditations. Yes. Love Tara Brach. I will share a link around Tara soon. Bridget says, haven't been able to get into it. Difficult to keep the intrusive thoughts out. Yeah, absolutely. That's what we're going to talk about, Bridget, today. And Kathy says, still learning about meditation. Love it and would never have believed I would. Yes, exactly. Amazing. Okay, so folks, thank you for sharing. And the chat is the place where I get to hear what's happening for you. You get to hear what's happening with each other. You get to connect a little bit with fellow change makers. So don't hold back in the chat. I won't always be able to read it because I'm not very good at multitasking, but I always read it afterwards. So if I miss something during our live session, I'll get to it later on and address it if I need to. So I want to just start off with a quick little slowdown. A quick little slowdown. Does that make sense? A little slowdown and just a pause. Okay, so I'm going to get you to just close your eyes or cast your gaze down and close the door on the room if there's things going on outside of your space. And first of all, we're all coming from different places, different days. We're in different states. So let's just take in a great big cleansing breath right now. And on the exhale, let's just shake out the shoulders, okay? Kind of like a rag doll, shaking it out. And then letting that sort of spread to the upper stomach and then the belly. And maybe spreading that to the head and the face, just sort of shaking everything out. And then letting everything go slack. And let's just do some shoulder rolls backwards, just to come into the body so that we don't stay trapped in just the experience of our head. So slow shoulder rolls and really feeling the shoulders moving through the space. Really feel what it's like to stretch and move. And then on the next shoulder roll backwards, just letting the shoulders relax back and down. And letting the body be straight, back straight, but everything else able to kind of soften and let go and be in a restful place. And now we're just going to use our senses to anchor us right here, right now in the present. So I want you to start with the sense of sound. I want you to notice all of the life in sound happening around you. And just breathing it all in. Even those sounds that regularly would be maybe annoying sounds, it's okay. It's just another expression of life right here, right now. We aren't getting attached to the story of it. We're just letting it bring us here, root us in this moment. So now focusing on one sound in particular. And just really breathing into that sound, just really being with that sound and letting everything else fall away. And now tuning into the sense of feeling. Just noticing the air around you. Is there movement in the air? Or is it completely still? Is it warm against your skin, or is there a little bit of coolness? How does it feel through your nostrils when you breathe that air in? And one more sense, even with your eyes closed, just noticing the play of light through your eyelids, or if your eyes are slightly open, just focusing on something right in front of you. And just notice the play of light and shadow, noticing the colors, noticing the shapes. And not letting any of these sights take you anywhere else, but just letting every little aspect of this sight anchor you even more here. And now just coming back to the shoulders and letting them soften. And letting them soften some more. All right, let's take in a nice big grounding breath. And coming back to eyes open when you're ready. Hmm. Yeah, so it makes sense that if we're going to talk about meditation, we ought to get into a bit of a meditation framework. Now, that was the first meditation of the evening. I fooled you. I just slipped one in there. Um, there are a lot of different things that you can focus on in meditation. Okay. And sometimes we call them anchors. Okay. They can be your breath. So when folks were talking in the chat about doing a silent meditation, it usually means that they are focusing on their breath. Some people in different traditions use a mantra, so a particular word that they say silently to themselves over and over again. Some people do a body scan. Okay, so just really coming into their bodies. It could be anything. It could be a candle flame. It could be something with, well, we'll do something called massage meditation. Like there's all sorts of different ways. There's no one way that is right. A lot of traditions very much focus um, on the silent meditation based on breath, and that is a wonderful pure meditation that is very juicy to work with. But sometimes we need something a little bit different to suit who we are, where we are, and what we're needing at this point in time. And so, the one we just did was just using the senses to anchor in the present. Um, you can, this is one that I use on the spot a lot during the day. So I like to do mini meditations. I like to do just 30 seconds or 1 minute. That is considered a meditation because it's about you dropping out of your head and into this moment, dropping out of your intellect and into this moment. And so I will just, because my sense of hearing is kind of drops me down the most out of all my senses, and I've learned this just from experimentation, I will look for one sound and I'll just breathe into it. And I'll just let that sound kind of gently take me by the ear and pull me into right here, right now. Okay, so when you experiment with the senses meditation, you will discover, oh, actually, it's my sense of smell that's really potent in getting me here now. So I find a sensory meditation can be really incredible, especially when you're starting with meditations. But even when you're advanced and you want to be able to keep on coming back and not just do one meditation in the morning and then forget about it, but continually going back to find this place of meditation throughout your day. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about well, okay, first of all, I just want to say we are going to sample a few different approaches tonight. So the first one, senses. And the other thing I'm going to mention right off the hop is that I just today, with the help of Kirsten, I threw up a bunch of my meditations on my website. Just different ones of different styles, different approaches. And I just really wanted you to have a free resource after this session to be able to go to if you like guided meditations and you wanted to try a variety that you could go to. So Kirsten has put that in the chat, and she will again later if you need it. And so all these different kinds that we talk about are going to be up there on that page, and in longer form that you're going to be able to experiment with. Okay, so before we go further, I want to make sure that you understand the value of this practice we call meditation, folks. It's not easy being someone trying to change the world. I know I talk about this a lot, but there's the pain that you witness and the pain that you go through, really holding, the space of others. You get a lot of pushback from folks from that are in the status quo, and a lot of those folks are going to be some of your closest peeps. And there's so much to do. It's so easy to get overwhelmed and then just completely lost. Okay, so meditation is it's a great antidote to all of that. with the pain. It can ease the pain. It can get you sort of into and through the pain. It can ease the drama. You know, it can quiet the drama that comes from being a change maker. It can make you feel more connected, which takes care of some of the loneliness we can feel as a change maker. And it can really settle some of those wild thoughts that are constantly circling in our heads, from overwhelm, from always trying to do so much because the world needs us. And so, and Joyce says, it's just good for your overall health, physical and mental health. Absolutely. There's been so many studies, folks, so much research showing the benefits of meditation, from curing disease to, being a better athlete, to creativity, everything. Okay. So I just really wanted to outline, as a change maker specifically, that, it can help create more awareness, more peace, more resilience in your life. But meditation particularly works on your level of presence. Okay. To be present in your body, to be present right here in this moment, and just to be present in your life, so that you don't get to the end of your life and go, oh my God, I wasn't actually present for any of it. It just kind of went by in a big blur. Some symptoms for lacking presence in your life, just so you understand the stakes on this. You'll find that time feels like it's flying by at an alarming rate. You'll find yourself drifting into a train of thought right in the middle of conversations, or spend a lot of time. Sorry, I'm just muting some sound here. Or spending a lot of time getting anxious about the past, and it can be the far past or the recent past or the future, the immediate future or the far off future. And all of that affects your ability to perform in the present. Not being present can make you very impatient, which can make you very angry, which can make you very ineffective as a change maker. When you haven't been cultivating presence, you can have a really hard time connecting to others and connecting to yourself. Okay. And if you were in last time's Changemaker workshop, it was all about how pivotal our relationship with self is. And not being present and not having a lot of presence in your life, it means not getting a lot of joy out of life, being preoccupied as well. How many feel forgetful, clumsy, or you just really identify with your thoughts and can't feel a lot these days. Okay, so those are some examples of some of the pieces that we can feel when we're not present. And folks, if you feel this, please don't be hard on yourself. It is first of all a epidemic in our society. Okay, we are stuck in a constant stimulus, multitasking, presence deficit society, and that isn't working out so well. I mean, just ask our planet. And it's also not working out so well for us. If we are always outside of this moment, we miss out on all of life's juice. Okay, I need you to listen here. The present, this very moment where you can feel things and hear things and feel things in your body, this is the place where all of the juice of life lives, all of the delight, all of the wonder, all of the richness. As D.H. Lawrence said, the living moment is everything. And yet we spend so much time elsewhere, right? How many of you would say you spend a lot of time elsewhere besides this living moment? Yeah, I'm guilty too. I don't have this all figured out. Just been working on it for a while and found some good hacks around it. So if you don't have presence, you're also not going to have creativity. You're also going to miss out on some of your vitality. You're going to miss out on some of your joy. These are all imperative to being an effective and enduring change maker. Okay, so there are various ways to cultivate presence, to cultivate what we call mindfulness. A few of you have mentioned that in the chat, and I'm actually going to do a future workshop on sort of ways to be mindful throughout your day. But today I wanted to focus on one of the most direct and focused practices around cultivating presence, and that is meditation. Now, there are a lot of misconceptions about meditation, and they even just came up in this quick little sort of chat that we had at the beginning. Somebody who thought they failed at it, probably because they got too antsy or whatever. I'm not sure, what it is, but I think one of the big problems is people misunderstand what's supposed to happen during meditation. So let me go through some of the misconceptions. Many people think meditation is about transcending. It's about going into this higher place above the fray of right here, right now. And that's absolutely the contrary. Meditation is about being right here, right now, with whatever is going on. Okay? And that's a really important piece to really keep in mind. It's about being present to what's happening and just being with that. Okay, so it's actually about staying. It's not about transcending. It's not about going somewhere. It's about staying. Now, some of you who've worked with me or been to other workshops, I have taken you through visualizations where we go places or we explore places. Those are visualizations. Those are meant for exploration. They're meant for fact finding, information gathering. And so they're wonderful. And I love the tool of visualization, but it's not meditation, because meditation is about being here now and learning to stay with it. And I'm going to add starting to train and relaxing around that. Okay. Many people think that meditation is about blissing out. So if they go and sit down to meditate for 10 minutes and they haven't blissed out, they figure they failed. They figure they're doing it wrong. Folks, the fact is meditation can be bloody uncomfortable. Okay. I know that's not a great advertisement for it, but I just want to be really real with you. It isn't very comfortable, especially, meditation. If you do it in sort of the way I'm talking about, it's just going to reveal what's actually happening here and now and in you. So if your state is one of pain, that's going to get exposed to you. Okay. That's not comfortable, but it's necessary, because we can't do anything with pain unless we're able to observe and connect to the pain and work with it. Okay, so being with however you're doing, the state that you're in, it means in meditation observing what's happening. So if you do observe, oh my God, I have a lot of pain, you're going to allow that. You're going to just feel it and be with it. Okay. But you're not going to get hooked in by it. You're not going to let it take you for a ride to, the experience when you were 2 years old. Not to knock that. I do that kind of work too, but that's not what meditation is necessarily about. Sometimes you have to go somewhere. Sometimes something's, poking at you so hard you can't ignore it and you need to go there. But generally, you're going to just sit with the feelings, okay, and not the story and not the intellect around it. And just be able to breathe into where it is in your body. Now, some people also think that meditation is about clearing your mind, getting rid of thoughts. Nope. Actually, it's about allowing thoughts, but not attaching to them, not adding fuel to the fire. Okay, not letting thoughts take you for a ride. It's about being able to observe your thoughts and then let them go. Or let them dissolve. Okay. It's about getting out of the prison of your mind and dropping into your body and the living moment. Another thing I hear a lot, it didn't work for me. I tried it, but it didn't work for me. And it's often not going to feel like it's working for you. Like I said, it's often not going to feel great. We in this society are used to constant stimulation. So we will find sitting there and breathing boring. We're also very used to distracting ourselves from our hurts and our pain. So that's going to make the experience quite uncomfortable. We are also used to having everything nailed down, certainty. And so sitting and just sort of opening up to this new arena is going to feel a little confusing and discombobulating. But it's just like lifting weights, folks. I mean, we don't lift weights to feel blissful at the moment, to have a grand old time. We lift weights because it's about building something valuable. It's about building our strength. The same thing goes for meditation. Don't get me wrong, there are many moments of bliss that I have experienced through meditation. And generally, my practice is now something that brings me quite a bit of relief. I actually very much look forward to it. Not every day, but almost always. But that is through practice. Okay. I call it a meditation practice because that's what it is. It takes practice. Okay, I'm just going to check and see what is happening here. Lots of wonderful chat here. Um, yeah, here's a hard place to be. Yes, it is. And by meditating and observing, okay, why is it such a hard place to be? And the practice of relaxing around the hardness of this place can be very, very valuable. Teresa, I'm so happy that you're on this Zoom too. Okay, I want to take a break and we're going to try a different kind of meditation. We're going to try a very simple breath meditation. All right. So I'm going to have you, once again, with all meditation, there's always like a little bit of a push and pull between traditions. Do you close your eyes? Do you keep them open? Let me give you a little bit of the difference, okay? And it really does depend on who you are. So if you are somebody who gets very distracted visually, you may do better to close your eyes, okay? Just because it takes away a bunch of stimulus. It allows you to go a little bit deeper. But it's also can be beautiful to keep your eyes slightly open and just cast down. And that allows you to just sort of really feel like you're present in this space. And it also helps if you fall asleep easily. It can be a helpful thing to keep your eyes slightly open. Okay, so I go back and forth. I generally am a very visual person, so it gives me some peace to close my eyes. But I also really like I go back and forth. It really can feel good to just really in the periphery feel this space around me, this living moment around me. Okay, so but if you don't close your eyes, just make sure that you're not looking around, that you are just looking slightly down and you're just sort of glazing out what is there. All right. Okay, so let's do this. Let's close the eyes or cast the gaze down. And let's just start. Again, I always like to start with a nice centering breath. And so we're going to focus now on just the simple act of breathing. And I know we shouldn't have to focus on it. We breathe automatically. But the wonderful thing about the breath as a meditation is that it's always with us. Okay, no matter where we are, what's happening, we have our breath as a tool. So right now, I just want you to focus on the feeling of the breath through the nostrils as you breathe in and out. I just want you to notice if this sort of little stream of breath tickles the inside of the nostrils at all. You might even notice this breath go down deeper into the body. You know, the breath sort of reaching all the way down into the bottom of the belly. Sometimes we realize how shallow we've been breathing. You know, just letting your breath find its natural depth and its natural pace. And I'd like for you on your breath, we'll try two different things with breathing, two different choices you can have. Now, the first one is on the out breath. I want you to just feel like you might be letting go a bit. On the out breath, maybe just softening. Just softening on each out breath, just a little. Like you could just let go of any holding. And if you find yourself straying off into thoughts, you can just notice, just label it as thinking, and then come back. Come back to this breath. And on the sweet exhale, just softening. Just letting go. And I know it's hard to stay focused, but on each out breath, just coming back to letting go of that breath. Softening. Letting go of everything else, not letting it hook you and take you somewhere else. For right here, right now, the most important thing is just softening on your out breath. And here's another little thing that you could focus on if you were just doing a simple breathing meditation, and that is on the in breath, just this sense of bringing in space. So on the in breath, like you're just inhaling some sweet space. Not needing to go anywhere right now, not needing to tend to anything, not needing to sort anything out. The most important thing that you could do right now, you're doing. You're cultivating the sweetness of life through your in breath. Just inhaling a little bit of space. I want to try one more technique with you around breathing, and we're just going to slow down the breath now. We're going to slow it down to the count of 5, starting with the in breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Equal out breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you can't slow it down that much, it's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's your mind? Back to the out breath. 2, 3, 4, 5. Coming back in breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now just letting your breath go back to a pace that feels natural. And just choosing to either focus on the in breath or the out breath for just a little bit more. Or you could be fancy and try both. Breathing in space, breathing out softness. Breathing in space, exhaling and letting go. All right, let's take in a nice big cleansing breath. Yeah, let's give ourselves a little shake as we come back to eyes open. Excellent. Okay, now I just need to really hit home that I'm taking you through everything fairly quickly, okay? I wouldn't want you to try all these different techniques all at once in one meditation, but I'm just trying to give you a little bit of a flavor so you know what you might be interested in going back and experimenting with. So what did we do? We just, we started off by concentrating on the feeling of the breath through the nose, through the nostrils. And you could, if you wanted to make a whole meditation out of just that, feeling the breath through your nostrils, that is a perfectly good meditation. Or you could feel it through your nostrils, and you could feel it expand your chest, and then you could feel it sort of inflate and deflate in the belly. So that is one idea, if that sort of worked with you, for you. Then we played with the idea of on the in breath, just, on the out breath, just focusing on letting go, softening. And again, even just that practice, there's so many variations. It could be on the out breath, you're going to relax, or you're going to surrender. Whatever, I've found the words and the phrases that work best for me, but you can experiment. And then we also tried with the in breath, just this idea of just on the in breath, recognizing the space you're breathing in. Okay. And then I really love when I'm feeling very kind of pretty frazzled, or I've had pretty frazzling day. I love the counted meditations, like the longer meditations. It just slows my whole physiology down, and it can be wonderful. You might, I mean, it's not something you would maybe do for half an hour, but it's great to do for the first 5 minutes or even the first 10 minutes of a meditation. And that's if you're doing a longer meditation. Some of you might just be doing a 5-minute meditation. So that's one to keep in your back pocket, because I find that when the body is sort of gets unregulated by stress, a longer, slower breath can help regulate the system a little bit. Okay. I would love to hear, if any of these meditations, which ones sort of resonate with you, or which pieces of it resonate with you. So please, do share in the chat as we go. Yeah, as Susan says, I often start meditation with slow breathing and counting. Wonderful, Susan. Okay, so there's a couple of things that that I really want to talk about that started to come up in that meditation. Now, coming back, first of all, to your anchor. There were a few times in that meditation where I said, "Are you still with us? Like, where'd you go? Are you still here?" And I don't know. I'd love to see a show of hands on any of those times when I said, "Are you here? Had you gone somewhere else?" Show of hands if you'd gone somewhere else when I asked. Yeah. It's amazing how fast we fuck off. Like, really, it is. It's amazing. And so first of all, just have some amusement and some compassion for yourself, because that happens all the time. I mean, our minds are designed to be all the time. And then again, like I said, in this society that just breeds constant thinking, it can be really hard. So this is the piece that that I think is incredibly important to talk about. And that is coming back. Okay. So I don't know. It's always interesting to notice where you went during those times. Sometimes there's a theme. I mean, sometimes people go far back in their history. They relive a breakup from 10 years ago, or some people just kind of keep reliving the same conversation from their day over and over again. They keep going back there. Or some people will be really forward thinking and just keep on going to their to-do list, or go back to their plan for world domination. So it is like, observing your thoughts is incredibly valuable, folks. Okay. It really gives you an idea of, where do you keep going? Is there a place that needs some resolution? Is there a place you need to work on, work through, or work on disconnecting from a little bit? So even just noticing, oh, there I went. Oh, there I went. Oh, I went there. I went there. I went there. I went there. That in itself, incredibly helpful. Okay. Really good information. And if you can keep that attitude, then even if you're all over the place, if you haven't even managed to, spend a split second in the present, it's still, you're going to be like, oh yeah, but I was really observing these thoughts, and it's really valuable. So again, we're wired to think. We're in a thinking obsessed society. So it's perfectly normal to go somewhere else. Okay. Now, what we want to do is we want to be able to realize that when we're thinking and we recognize we're thinking, this is an amazing opportunity in itself to use meditation as a practice for loving kindness as well. Okay. And this is one of my favorite parts of meditation, because I'm all about loving kindness. I'm all about trying to cultivate more love in our inner worlds, for ourselves, first of all, and then for others. And so many folks, when they find that they've gone somewhere else, they get frustrated, they beat up on themselves. Oh, why can't I get this right? That, folks, is not going to lead to any good. Okay. It never does. So this is what I want you to do to change this. Okay. So the instruction often in many traditions is some sort of recognition when you notice that you've gone off in thoughts, to just go thinking. Okay. Just to label it as thinking. Now, that is that in itself is really valuable, because it shows us that there is an observer of our thinking. Okay. It makes us not so identified with the intellect. Okay. It's like, oh, I'm noticing that I'm thinking. So I'm not just a walking mind. Okay. I'm not just a walking intellect. There's also my body and feelings and all sorts of things going on too. So that's a great start. So, but really, in that moment that you realize that you've gone somewhere else, I also want you to celebrate, because you woke up and you noticed. Okay, hooray! I have spent a 20-minute meditation completely elsewhere. And not till the end, when the bell goes off, I'm like, oh shit. Okay, so if you are finding moments in your meditation where you're like, oh God, oh, then get sweet with yourself and celebrate. Oh, okay, I'm coming back home. Okay, I'm coming back home to myself now, and I'm coming back home to this moment. And enjoy that. That can be a sweet moment. Okay? Enjoy coming back to the rest that you have in yourself and in this moment. I want to tell you a little story. One of my favorite teachers, Buddhist teachers, Pema Chodron, she told this story, I think, in a workshop. I can't remember. Anyway, I loved it, and it stayed with me, because she was talking about this very thing about, you got to not make this sort of recognition of the fact that you went somewhere else another reason to beat up on yourself. You've got to learn to be gentle about it. When you say that thinking, you've got to be gentle about it. Well, so after she talked about this in a workshop, then the next day, this big Texan guy with a 10-gallon hat comes up to her, and he says, you know what? I took that to heart. And every time that my mind went off somewhere else, I just said to myself, thinking, little buddy, thinking. It's precious, because that's it. Like, that was his tenderness. He was not just developing his sense of focus. He was developing his sense of tenderness towards himself. I think that's a beautiful thing. Okay, let's go and try one of my favorite types of meditation, and this is called the body scan meditation. All right. So, when you go off in this meditation, as you will, I want you to just really love that moment of discovering that you went off and come back home. Come back home to your body. Okay. Come back home to your breathing. Come back home to this moment. All right, folks. So, in our first meditation, I meant to tell you, remember how we did that big shakeout? That is another little tool I like to use if I'm going to sit down in meditation and I'm like feeling very activated. I will do a nice big shakeout of my body and my thoughts and my expression. Okay. It's a really great way of just kind of like getting rid of some of the tension, getting rid of some of the frenetic feeling in the body so that you can begin to settle. So let's just try that one more time. Okay. Closing your eyes, casting your gaze down, getting ready for this next meditation. Let's take a deep breath into any place in the body that's feeling a little unsettled or frenetic. And on the exhale, let's just shake it out. Okay, shake out the head, shake out the shoulders, shake out the hips, shake out the hands, shake out the face, shake out the expression on the face, shake out the lips. And I love adding that noise. And then letting everything just go slap. I'm coming back now to this breath. Just starting to let the breath find its pace. And now I want you to just start by bringing your breath and your attention down into the feet. Okay, those feet, the ones that way down there at the ground. I just want you to breathe into the feet and just sort of feel the state of the feet. Maybe they feel tense. Maybe they're super relaxed and groovy. Maybe there's some pain or tiredness in the feet. This isn't about any judgment. It's not about going into any stories or any planning. It's just breathing into the feet and where the feet are right at this moment. Almost like you could, breathe right into those feet. Really be in them. And now let's move our focus to the lower belly. Just really bring your breath down into the lower belly. And just feeling around in there with your breath. Feeling the state of the belly. And just really coming home to the belly with your breath. Breathing into the belly. Nowhere to go, nothing to attend to. Just being in the belly. Let's come up into the upper stomach. And just start to breathe into the upper stomach. Seeing the state of the diaphragm, the upper stomach. Maybe it feels hard and tense. Maybe it feels soft and relaxed, or somewhere in between. No judgment, just noticing. Attention is one of the deepest forms of love. So attending to the upper stomach by breathing into it. And just notice if you've gone somewhere else. And if you have, hooray, celebrate. that you woke up to that and you're coming back home. Coming back home to your breath as we breathe into the heart. Bringing that beautiful breath of yours to the heart. Rooting around in the heart with the breath, noticing what the state of the heart is. Noticing if there's a tightness or heaviness, or a lightness and an openness. Doesn't matter which one it is. Just being with whatever is there. Bringing your breath and attention to it. And coming up into the throat. First of all, just moving the lower jaw back and forth a few times just to loosen up this place that we keep very tight. And then letting the throat, the jaw completely relax and go slack. And breathing into the throat. Breathing into the throat to be there, like really inhabit your throat. Really get in there with the breath. And finally coming up into the crown of the head. Breathing into the crown of the head. That's where the active mind, we think of the active mind being. And just breathing into this place, just really feeling into it. Noticing the state of it. Does it feel hard or soft? Does it feel open or closed? Still or busy? Doesn't matter. There's no judgment here. It's just about recognizing. It's just about breathing into what is. And we'll stop one more place. We'll go backwards and we'll go down into the root of the body, the pelvis. Breathing into this place and noticing the state of this area and noticing, have you gone somewhere else? And if you have, wake up and just have a sense of humor, be tender with yourself and coming back to this root, to this pelvis, this real power point in your body. Breathing into it, feeling into it. Coming home to your body. All right, let's take in one more big rooting breath. And letting go with an exhale. And when you're ready, bringing your eyes open or up. So I love the idea of body scan meditations. It literally takes the focus off of the mind and into the body, and we need that. I mean, too many of us walk around like our bodies were designed to just carry our heads. Like and so being able to really focus and breathe into the body and be present in the body can be really powerful. I'd love to hear what your experience was with the body scan, if that appealed to you, whether there was a part of your body that you really were able to kind of connect to and be present with, or whether you were all over the place, or whether you had a really good experience of recognizing that you went somewhere else and were able to gently bring yourself back. So, okay, Tenebray said, good to notice places of tension. Yeah, isn't it surprising? You're like, I never realized how much I held in my upper stomach until I started doing meditation regularly. Oh my God, it's like Fort Knox there. So it feels so good to be able to come into it, and it's breathing into my upper stomach is almost like saying, it's okay. It's okay, little one. You can relax now. You can let your guard down. It's a good thing to feel sometimes. Okay, let's talk about the whole idea of making meditation a habit. I'm going to take you through one more meditation. And like I said, on my page, there's going to be lots of different types that you can try. But the fact is, no meditation really works unless you're doing it regularly. As I mentioned near the beginning, I started meditating 25 years ago, and I recognized how I knew at my core that it was a pillar, that it was a pillar of what needed to be my practice. But I was just never super consistent. I'd go for a streak of 1 or 2 weeks and then I drop off. My biggest problem was falling asleep. And it still is. It's still what I have to fight, or work with. I won't say fight. What I have to work with when I meditate. And also how uncomfortable in the beginning it made me feel, because I was doing a lot of work on myself and there was a lot of loose pain rolling around there, and it can be very uncomfortable to sit with that, but it's the only way through it. It's the only way to get past it is to go through it. I will tell you, for at least the last 3 or 4 years, meditation is an absolute daily non-negotiable practice for me. Okay. And it truly fuels me in my work. Hey, I have a few practices that are non-negotiable for me, and meditation, isn't the be all end all for me. It is one part of my toolkit, but it's a really important part of my toolkit. Let me see. Let's talk about some of the things I did and some of the things others have done for helping to establish meditation as a regular practice. And I would love to hear, what you think has prevented you in the past from making a meditation a regular practice. But first of all, it's just important, even if you do it for 2 minutes, that you do it daily. Okay, that you get that bum on that cushion or that chair or that walking, meditation rug for a short time. Okay, it can start incredibly short if you need it to. It can be a minute. Okay, a minute that's deliberate and you commit to it fully. Yes, like Tenebrae said, it's like building muscle. It is a muscle. Okay. And so what that does is, just by showing up every day, you're getting your psyche conditioned. Okay. That this is what I do. I am a daily meditator. Okay. It makes it part of your identity. And then you can start making it a little bit longer. Okay. It's hard to really feel anything around meditation unless you sort of do 5 minutes. So I would really recommend everybody try 5 minutes. But if that's really, you can't do 5 minutes, then go lower. So 5 minutes is a really good place to start. But I'll tell you, if you haven't been doing meditation, 5 minutes is just going to scratch the surface. Okay. I find that I don't even start to kind of relax into it until after, 15 minutes sometimes. But that should not dissuade you from this, because like I said, it's not about just feeling groovy. It's about learning to observe, your thoughts, seeing the state that you're in, being with what is, training in being present. All right. Debbie says, I too often have difficulties getting to sleep and use meditation to help facilitate that. Yes, I love that. I do too. Okay. So that's the first thing is, for me, I do it. This is what I do. I get up and I go brush my teeth, wash my face. I make a little bit of a coffee. I don't have very much coffee in the day. I have about a third of a cup of coffee and my little hydration drink. And I sit down, I go back to my bed and I sit on my bed. And I, first of all, do a little reading of something that's inspiring me right now, something that feeds me, or I listen to a lecture, a workshop that feeds me. And then I meditate. Okay, so really, I don't even get my day going, okay, because it's really hard, especially for people like us that are super busy and there's a lot of demands on us. It is really hard once you get into your day to come back. Okay, it's not impossible, but I will tell you, if you're just starting this, do it first thing in the morning if you can. Okay, that can be a great thing, or do it last thing at night. Um, the other possibility, and this is something I've been working with for a little while now, is to scatter your meditation throughout the day. So Tashi Nima, who some of you know, Tashi is a wonderful Buddhist monk and an animal advocate and a death row prisoner advocate, who is wonderful. And so Tashi talks about something he calls the 10 by 10. And that is taking 10 deep breaths 10 times a day. Now that I timed it, and that in itself is a 20-minute meditation. Okay, that's an actual 20-minute meditation. And what it does, instead of just like meditating at the beginning of the day or the end of the day and then sort of forgetting about it for the rest, it weaves it through the day. So that's brilliant. And it can be really a great thing, especially if you're having a hard time doing a longer meditation. 10 by 10 is actually quite a bit. I would say you could start with 5 by 5. So 5 deep, slow breaths 5 times a day, or you could even start with 3 by 3. And you could put a little reminder on your phone for, whatever, 5 times a day, a little reminder that comes up that says, now it's time to breathe for five deep breaths. Okay. Or 10 times a day for 10 deep breaths, whatever you decide you can handle. Because I think, I mentioned earlier in our workshop that it is really, that meditation is really just your training on how to become present during your day. Okay, so I don't want you to be meditating in the morning and then checking out for the rest of the day. And in fact, while we're talking about Tashi, he often says, there's a lot of people who will have a meditation and it'll just be like amazing and they'll feel so blissful and they had so many insights, and then they get off their cushion and they go into their life and they yell at somebody. Okay. He says that is a bad meditation. You did not have a good meditation, because it's not what happens on the cushion, it's what happens as a result of what was on the cushion. Okay, whereas he says if you had a really all over the place meditation and you were like, it was made you jittery and you were all like distracted and everything, and then you get off your cushion and you have more patience for somebody, that was a good meditation. All right, so just keep that in mind. Yeah, Tenebrae says carrying peace into the world, love it. Carrie says, Kimberly, I'm listening to just what you say, but your eyeshadow is absolutely gorgeous. Oh, really? Thank you, Carrie. It's always nice to hear that. Okay, so that's another form of meditation. What we've done here tonight has been I've been guiding you in the meditations, but really I've been just taking you through the instructions of what you could be sort of guiding yourself through. But there is no sin in always doing guided meditations. Okay, silent meditations on your own with no guidance, beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing if it works for you. But I often will work with guided meditations. Okay, it depends. I'll just check in and see where's my level of focus at. If my level of focus is really challenged, I'm going to go for a guided meditation. If I've got a lot of time and I'm outside, I'm just going to be nothing, just breathing meditation, silence, beautiful. Or if it's just a day where I'm like, yeah, I really don't want anything in my ears, I just want to totally be still and quiet, I will do a regular meditation. Okay, so so guided meditations, I told you, I've given you a page of mine that you can use. They range from 5 minutes to around 15 minutes. I'll probably add some longer ones there as we go. I'm going to start adding more and more, but I just thought I'd throw a bunch up for right now. And also a couple of people have mentioned Tara Brock. I love Tara. She is not only has wonderful talks, but her meditations are lovely. And so I highly recommend those as well. And Kirsten put the link for those into the chat as well. So yeah, Tara is a longtime Buddhist teacher. She's in her early 70s, I believe. So just a really wonderful mother vibe. And yeah, just really great. So Susan says, I'm going to try Tara's meditation. Yeah, absolutely. And now one of the other things that for those of you that are also struggle a little bit with getting too sleepy, I call it the head bob. So I've often been in meditation groups where I'll be at the back and I'll just kind of out of the corner of my eye see head bob here, head bob there, head bob, just like everybody is like doing the head bob. Oh, okay, I'm awake. It's pretty funny until it's you. But it's a real thing, folks. I mean, we have two speeds in this society: go or sleep. That's what we're cultivating here. We're cultivating this beautiful world in between those two places. So how you position your body in cases like this can be really important. You can, okay, well, let's just talk about body position altogether. You do not have to, I keep saying a cushion, but you don't have to sit down on the ground. You can sit on a chair, on a sofa. Just make sure your back is straight. And that all your other limbs can kind of relax. Okay, nothing else should have tension in it, but it's good to kind of at least have an open chest for it. I actually, folks, I'm going to share. I do something a little unorthodox for a lot of my meditations, at least my morning meditations. I actually hang off the side of my bed or a surface. I hang off the back of it because it helps keep me awake, just having that extra sort of stretch, and it's really great for my posture to have a nice open stretch like that. And apparently it's really good for you to be upside down for a little bit each day. So I'm not prescribing that to anybody else, but it has worked for me. And I'll just tell you, I tell you that because you are going to have to find what works for you. I found something very specific that works for me. There are some people that do walking meditation. So especially if you're feeling sleepy, it's a great way. I mean, it's very hard to fall asleep on your feet. It's possible, believe me, I've done it, but it makes it a lot harder. And so really with walking meditation, you can, you're walking slowly. You're really paying attention to like when your heel hits the ground, when the rest of your foot and your toes hit the ground, and you're just really being mindful of that movement of your body moving through the air. Okay. You're not looking around. You're not listening to something. You're not, sightseeing. You're just really, it's just about using some movement to keep you, to keep you awake and to mix it up a little bit. Yes, community for meditating can be so helpful. I love meditating on my own, but when there's something about being in community, a community meditation, even on Zoom, that is really special. It's almost like there's just an extra beautiful space that's created when you know that a bunch of people are meditating along with you. So I highly recommend you try some group meditation at some point, and which we do almost every Changemaker session. So, or try to find a way to do it in person too. And the other thing I'll just say about sleepy bobbing head is that I actually asked Tashi about this, because he talks about getting up at 5 a.m. and starting meditation. And I said, oh, Tashi, I'm a little bit, I'm a little bit divided because I feel like I shouldn't be drinking coffee and everything, but it does kind of help to keep me awake enough to do meditation. He's like, oh, I drink coffee right first thing. There's no way I would do this without coffee. So the Buddhist monk gave me permission. I was like, okay, a little bit of coffee is great. Maybe a lot of coffee is great too. It depends. You want to balance it. I know for some people, coffee can make you very anxious, and that's not necessarily going to help your meditation. A little bit of wake up juice can. Susan says, I do coffee meditation. Yes. So again, you have to find out what works for you. All right, folks, we are almost at our finish time. I'm just going to see if there are any questions before we do our final little meditation. Oh, Jenny, sitting on a rock in a stream in a ravine, meditating can't get any better. Yes, absolutely. Um, Okay, I am sorry. Let's see. Carmen says, I like the 10 by 10. You could do that anywhere. I need the reminders. Yeah, I need reminders for any sort of throughout the day kind of practices I'm doing. And I always just use the reminder app. I put the reminder app on my iPhone, and I just have it come up daily. So I put different times of day into the schedule, and then I have those come up daily. So I have several different reminders coming up throughout the day. Okay, well, if I missed a question, I will go back afterwards and I will I'll address it next time. But I think it's time for us to do one final meditation, and I love this one. And this one is especially good for those who get easily distracted and are having a bit of a hard time with meditation, or just on a particular day when you're feeling really frenetic and all over the place. All right. I call it the massage meditation. And I have a version of it on the page, on my meditation page. So if you like it, you're going to have one to use at home. So let's do one more little, and I'll make this nice and short because we're almost out of time. So coming back to eyes closed or cast down. And let's just start with one great big opening breath. Coming to the rhythm of your breath, the in and out of it. And just noticing where there might still be some freneticness in the body, in the mind. And let's just start by bringing the index and middle fingers up to your temples. And just starting with a nice little circular massage, some nice pressure, get some nice pressure in there, but just a kind, responsive circular massage. And keep the breath going. And then I like you to continue and just sort of follow the hairline over the ears, just noticing what kind of pressure you might be able to release there. Keeping the circular massage along the hairline, going down and down to the back of the hairline, the back of the head. Then you might get in there, you might get a few more fingers in there and start massaging up the head. You might get all the fingers in there, massaging the scalp, and just really following, where does your head want to be massaged and loosened? Just really tuning into that. And then finally coming down with those two fingers down into that third eye, that area between the brows, and coming back to this circular massage. Almost like that massage could start to melt any of those worry lines that we tend to create. And then letting the hands just go slack. And now breathing into those places where you massaged and just really feeling that release. Really feeling almost that streaming out of tension. Enjoy. And now bringing your hands to the upper stomach. Again, that Fort Knox for a lot of people. And using your hands and all of your fingers, I want you to start massaging with both hands, circular massages of the upper stomach. And I don't want you to go all easy here. I want you to dig into this, okay? I want you to really feel into the upper stomach. Now, this could be uncomfortable for people. We all have, almost all of us have a layer of fat over this place. This is not about judgment. This is about getting into this area of the body, being present with it, waking it up, connecting to it, being in it. So get over yourself and just get massaging, digging lovingly into this part of your body, breaking the tension up, loosening things up, softening things up, and then letting the hands go, slack, and really breathing into this upper stomach. Just really enjoy the relief, the release, the letting go of that tension. And last stop, let's bring the hands to the heart, the sweet heart of yours that works so hard. And you can use one hand or both hands, but big, deep circular massages in the heart area. Okay. Really, like I said, loving, but firm, digging in there, breaking up some of this tension, breaking up some of the holding in this area, almost as if you are massaging the heart directly, bringing it back to robust, tender life, getting in there, getting right down into that sternum too. That can feel really good or really bad, one of the two. And just really opening up and massaging open this area. And then letting the hands go slack. And feel the streaming out of that tension. Feeling that maybe there is a little bit more softness and openness to this area to breathe into. And coming back once again to this moment and this space, listening to the sounds, the way we started. Find a sound and let yourself breathe into it. Just seeing if maybe you can feel it a little bit more than you did at the beginning. All right. One more cleansing breath in. And letting go with an exhale. And let's just give ourselves a nice little shake to come back. Wow, I don't know about you, but the tuning into the sound, oh, it was so much more alive than the beginning. Did anybody else have that experience of like your sound? Yeah, your sound being really much more robust and alive. That's the magic of meditation. It makes you more alive, more ready to take in life. So I would love to hear what you thought of the massage meditation, and also what it was like to tune in at the end of your meditation in the comments. Carrie says that was a great meditation. The tactile part was also relaxing. Yeah, I really like it. And again, there's purists that would say that's not a meditation. That's just a self-massage. But it is. It's about coming home to yourself. It's about being present in your body. To me, that fulfills the check mark for meditation. Debbie says, this has been a hard week for my heart, and she was really in need of a little loving. But Pickles My Liver sure enjoyed the massage. Of course you have, Debbie. Oh my God, I love you. All right. Well, my darlings, thank you. I kept you a little bit over time, but I just wanted to make sure that we covered all our bases. Really, we covered an amount here that often it takes 7 weeks of mindfulness MBSR course to do. So good on you for sticking with me. And like I said, it was just a little quick tour. By no means was it an exhaustive exploration of meditation, but I hope it was at least a starting point for you. Folks, just another little thing. If you haven't done my Power Tools for Changemakers mini course, make sure you do it. It's 5 video lessons, and it's just a wonderful thing for building resilience and tools for Changemakers specifically. Yeah, Kirsten just put that in the chat. And also make sure that you join us for our next Changemaker sessions. I'm slowing things down a little bit for the summer because some of you might know this, but I'm writing a book and I need some writing time. So our next Changemaker session will be August 16th. Okay, I don't know what the theme is for it. We'll see what comes up. If anybody has any ideas or requests, please email me. All right, folks. Thank you. Oh, thank you, everybody. I'm seeing your wonderful comments, and I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you being here, but I really appreciate what you're doing out in life and in the world. We need more of you out there. Okay. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Oh, take your microphones off and say good night to me so I can hear you.
Good night, Kimberly.
Hi,
Kimberly.
That makes me happy. Good night, everybody. Have a good one. Mwah.